I am Iron Man.
Hello there.
Avengers!
This was the greatest episode of all time.
Oh my gosh. If I knew 5 and 6 were going to be, or at least I knew the next episode after 4 was going to be like balls to the wall. Like this almost felt like the finale. That's what was so like this could have been the finale.
I have some comments about the last episode. And basically to sum it up right now, I don't think the finale can live up to this episode.
No, at least, I mean, unless they pull some crazy shit.
They might. I mean, again, we talked about before the Disney Plus finale. Oh God, theorem? Is that no? I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Their algorithm.
Thank you. The Disney Plus algorithm must have a 40 to 50 minute action sequence in the finale.
Oh yeah, yep.
And that'll if they do deliver that, and I'm assuming a Vader versus Obi-Wan fight, that's awesome. But all right. Well, finale. Let's save the finale because we got to talk about the actual episode. There's too many good things. But my whole point of saying this ahead of time is this episode was so good as a whole.
Oh my gosh, amazing!
I don't think it can be topped by the finale. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah.
I was live writing my notes on it while and I stunned myself with I put down something. I'll get into it when we start talking about that, but I was guessing what was going to happen in my notes. And then I was like, you were literally right on everything. Like everything you guessed about, Reva and
I know,
and the fights and everything. I was sitting there like, Zach got it right the whole time. He had it right from the beginning.
I focusing on Reva is a great start, I think, because first of all, hell yeah, called it.
That was you called it from the first episode.
Order 66. Bitter, annoyed, angry, dark side because of it. Blamed Obi-Wan, even though I was wrong. He wasn't there when she died. Got attacked. But she still blamed him because, and I have it written down here. Maybe the greatest line of this episode. Where were you? He was your Padawan.
God damn, that cut
chills when she said that.
I heard that and I was like, ooh, you don't want to think about that because Obi-Wan's such a good guy, but he did technically fail. As a teacher. He showed up too late. He failed as a master. It's so many failures for Obi-Wan, which is again, that's why he's so guilt and shameful in this whole series. Yeah.
But oh my God, her someone there to yell that at him was amazing.
It was because I feel like nobody ever really said anything because number one, he just kind of became a recluse after all that. And number two, I feel like nobody, not to had the balls to say it, but just didn't want to bring it up, I guess Uncle Owen brought it up a couple times.
Yeah, Owen kind of. His big trailer comment.
Yeah,
that was a shot at Obi-Wan for sure. But I think
we saw what happened last time you trained someone or whatever. Paraphrasing. What was it?
But someone has to train the boy. You mean you trained his father? Still hits. But I think the big difference here, though, is that's kind of saying some guy comes over and tells you hey, you're kind of mediocre at your job. You're like, all right, fuck you too, whatever. But then Owen comes over and tells you, hey, you're bad at your job, and you're like, shit.
Yeah,
she was a Jedi. She was another Jedi telling him you fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and I think that does hit differently. And that was wild. And to be the other Reva I guess prediction being her against the Inquisitors. I mean, she turned on them, but she didn't fight Inquisitors.
She fought the big cheese.
Never.
I didn't think that was going to happen. Yeah,
no.
And I mean, also, I like. Sorry, I like how she blames, like, she's mad at Anakin. Like, I like how that fuels her hate.
She's mad at both of them.
Yeah. I mean, because Anakin basically killed her whole family. I mean, her
literally
chosen family. Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. I was like, damn, like her fuel for the dark side comes from hating her master, basically. Like, which is weird that Anakin couldn't sense that,
and that was just, I mean, it was so amazing. And then even the cut between, again, so much to get into for this episode.
Oh my God.
But specifically talking about when she's describing Order 66 and it keeps flashing back and forth.
Between
and then
when her and Vader are like towards like, yep.
And they're actually fighting and it's flashing and he's doing the same thing. It's so, I think I wrote it here somewhere, but basically the editing in this episode,
amazing.
Like, it was like the back to editing just stretched out for a whole episode. Yeah. And it was just so good.
And I love I mean, we'll get more depth in that too, but the whole cutting back and forth between Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting, so I mean, dual, what the hell is the right word?
Training?
Yeah, training, but not jousting, but dueling, I don't know, whatever. But
yeah, dual training.
I think I'm thinking of fencing. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
But dueling,
yeah. I'm trying to remember what the match is. I don't know. but yeah. So all right, so to go back, I mean, the first thing we see is Coruscant, and it looks amazing.
Which was awesome. Yeah.
It was great. We see Coruscant and we see episode 2 Anakin.
I know, right? I was expecting to see episode 3 because
I know.
And I'm very surprised that they didn't de-age Hayden Christensen.
I know.
It didn't throw me off that much, but still, like,
I mean, this is something we had to talk about, was the fact that they didn't de-age him, right? And I appreciate that they did not.
I mean, Hayden Christensen looks decently. I mean, he's 41 years old, but he looks decently young. You know what I mean?
How old is he?
41.
Okay, I mean, great. He looks great. Yeah. That's what, like, I think if he had his episode 3 gear on, it would have been more believable of an appearance.
Yep.
But because episode 2, he's like 20.
Yeah,
like he's literally like 20, like 18, 20.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a discrepancy there, but I appreciate they didn't de-age him because he's still young enough that, like you said, he turned around and you're like, yes, let's go.
Yeah. And like, I've been seeing stuff everywhere. Like, thank God it paid off that we got like a true Hayden Christensen, like, not in Vader mask, not in, you know what I mean?
Dude, I'm going to call it right now here that you're still right, that in the final duel, we get flashes of him somehow with Vader.
Yeah.
I think as you're saying, like this is the flashback we've been waiting for, right? And this is true Anakin Skywalker. I don't think we get another Anakin Skywalker scene.
Probably not. No. Yeah.
So good. And I even have here, like, he just was Anakin again. The way he moved, the way he talked, everything about him was Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
But the thing that I thought was humorous was, again, I think he looked old enough that he looked older, like, not in a bad way. He, looks older. And him talking like Anakin did at 18 to 20, but as a adult man, came off really scary.
Yeah. I mean, like, you could see the Vader in him during those times, like the hate, like the cockiness. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Whereas as a child or a young adult, like, the cockiness comes off as like, don't get cocky, kid.
Yeah.
Like, you wave your finger at him. But like seeing this perception, it's almost like this is one of the reasons they could have left it in there, which I don't think it is. But like, from a cinematography point of view, like, they could have left him looking like an adult Hayden Christensen, because it's like, this is what you should have saw when this was happening.
Yeah, you're supposed to see the Vader in him. Like,
yeah, and they do such a good. And then the editing, like, the back and forth of the duel, like, the fact that, like, when Anakin got the upper hand in the training, then Vader had the upper hand in real life, like, whether it was the ship landing or Obi-Wan getting kidnapped or not kidnapped, but captured or whatever. Like, again, just fantastic flashback sequences.
It was amazing. Just an all around well done episode. Like from start to finish, had me hooked. I forget what point of the episode I put this in, but it was definitely before the whole Obi-Wan Reva talk. But I was like, I put like Reva's definitely going to turn. I said, especially now since she's the Grand Inquisitor, because if they want to stay loyal to the to the show, like to Star Wars canon, the Grand Inquisitor's got to come back, which we did get the Grand Inquisitor. We got the Grand Inquisitor back. But I was literally wrote that right as he put the pin on her or gave her the pin. Yeah. I was like, well, she's definitely turning now because either turning or getting killed. Like,
I'm so glad you said that because again, my second note is word for word Grand Inquisitor Reva, do you buy it? ? So clearly the answer was no.
Nope, like, I did not buy it for a second.
Like that's what it happened. And for a moment, I really was like, this is really cool. Like the Darth Vader being like, kneel, and it's like, you don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, I was like, oh, shit, you about to kill her or something?
I don't know. Like, even a part of me was like, is he going to like knight her as a Padawan? And I'd like to get more into that later as a little tease. But I just didn't know what he was going to do. Like, that had no idea. He gives her Grand Inquisitor status. And I was like, dang, that's really cool. And I think as the scene ended, I was like, no,
that's not gonna stay like that for a long. Yeah.
I have after, and so that was like I said, cool. Grand Inquisitor Reva. Again, I think Reva really did a great job in this episode too. She was really cool. Again, the emotion kind of came out of her. She let her guard down in front of Obi-Wan.
And I love how they kind of like were whispering to each other just loud enough that they could hear each other, but nobody else could hear them.
Yeah. I thought the door, when they were talking through the door, it was perfect.
Yeah.
I thought when they were whispering to each other in front of when Obi-Wan was captured.
When he like surrendered himself.
Yeah. When he was surrendered, I thought that was a believable scene, but I did think it was kind of funny. I'm like, there are like 50 people around you.
I was gonna say they could probably hear them there. Like,
someone probably could hear you. Yeah, but no, I think they.
What are you guys saying over there?
Should she be talking to the guy that much? But no, I thought it was done in a very believable manner, and I did not have any issues with it. And I think that was again, like I, you know what, to go into something else people keep having issues with is Leia. This was the perfect amount of Leia. This
oh my gosh, yeah.
She came in, she gave her little Leia-ness. She's like, get me a ladder. I'm gonna do this job.
I put two things about her in my notes. I was like, number one, I love Obi-Wan's trust in her. Mm-hmm. Like when she was like, oh,
they finally had that relationship.
Yeah. Like she's like, I'll go up and fix it, and everyone's like, oh yeah, okay, kid, like settle down. Playtime's not playtime right now. And then he just like looks at Ice Cube's son, is like, whatever she wants, let her do it.
You do it.
I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, this, it really shows, because they kind of treat Leia as like a damsel in distress more than not in the original trilogy. Which I mean,
she's the princess.
Which I mean, it was the 70s. They didn't, like that was every main character women in 70s action movies.
Yet.
Yeah. But in this one, they kind of show like Leia's traits relating to Anakin. Like she loves droids. Like she was good at fixing droids and like good at like fixing other, because like Anakin built C-3PO and stuff like that. But I was like, it shows Anakin's love for droids and fixing stuff, just like Luke was. Leia is exactly like that.
Yeah, I thought again, it was like the perfect amount of Leia, right? And you like her mannerisms, it was the same exact stuff she's been doing all series, but like it was not overdone enough that you're sitting there and you're like, okay, like she's got the confidence to go do the job, and she's got the knowledge, like and the connection to the Force, like she's able to do all of this with such certainty, and like I was able to believe everything about Leia this episode.
Oh yeah, especially for being a 10-year-old. Like
exactly,
they were getting what's the right word? I can't think of any words tonight.
Dude, I know. I think I'm just blanking because I keep thinking
just so excited.
Exactly. Dude, I've rewatched this episode a lot already, but on YouTube, some fantastic soul who I don't know who it was, put all of the Anakin Obi-Wan flashbacks together as one scene.
Oh yeah, I saw I didn't watch the clip, but I saw the thumbnail for it.
I did. Watching that, it's clear they, obviously they did, but it's clear it was one shot, right? Like it was one filming,
broke it up, and
and they broke it up, and it was just like really, really nice and really fun to rewatch the two of them just go at it in episode 2 style. Like, oh my God, it was so cool. And I keep thinking of stuff like that, dude. And the flashbacks, Anakin, yes, they have the right lightsabers, and that's
cool.
The episode 2 Anakin lightsaber is one of my all-time favorites. And
was it the same hilt as the one from 3, or is it a different
one? Because that's what, at the end of episode 2, well, at some point in episode 2,
he loses
like breaks. Right? Yeah. And Anakin has the line of, Obi-Wan's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of my all-time favorite designs. Like, it was the first lightsaber toy my parents got.
I don't remember.
I just love that design. So seeing that again in something, I was just like blushing with excitement. Sorry, I'm just jumping, but like the next and Roken, Ice Cube's son, Roken, that's his character.
Yep.
Like I said, he was a champ, man. He was actually like a leader in this episode. Like last episode, we saw him with 2 people, and
he was kind of like a side character in that one. This one, he had a more main role, and
his performance, like, I, as a random person, was like, yeah, this guy's in charge. Like, I buy that.
Oh yeah.
And I even loved. Dude, Obi-Wan had some sass this episode.
Oh my! When Obi-Wan was giving orders, like when he was like giving it for a split second, I was sitting there and I was like, "What the fuck does Obi-Wan know about battle formations and everything?" And then I was like, "Oh wait, he was a general in the clone army. Like, he was literally like,
right." He was literally a leader amongst an army. So yes, he and it's so hard to think about that because we barely saw it in the movies. But like with Clone Wars, that he was a general, general of the Republic, and you get that glimpse again in that episode with that scene. And I loved, just kind of like a funny note, but I loved when he's talking to Roken. And he goes, Roken, can you get the things reset and the doors open, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, give me 3 hours. He's like, you have one.
Like,
thank God.
Damn. That's like some Wolf of Wall Street shit. Like,
it was just so ridiculous. Like, but it was Star Wars ridiculous, right? Like, it was the kind of stuff that you hear that and you love it.
Oh yeah. One thing before we get more into like the story of the show or the episode, one gripe I have with the set was the set where Reva is outside with all the stormtroopers, like kind of like the sand area.
Yeah.
Disney's usually pretty good at making everything look realistic, They have that, like, it's like a dome, it's like a green screen dome basically, and they project the background up for the Mandalorian. Yep. And I'm pretty sure they used half that and half like set for that part. But I was watching it and I was like, this looks fake as shit. I was like, this looks like it was filmed. I don't know. I just, that's what I thought personally. I was like,
I believe you.
I was like, this looks like a set at Disney World, like that they do a little show on. Like, I was like, this looks like shit. But
I thought it looked lazy. Like, I didn't really give it too much thought, but like going off your feelings, young one. I know, like, when it showed Reva amongst the stormtroopers, I wasn't focused on the set. I was focused on Reva. And the reason being, I actually remember thinking, like, it looks like she's in the same exact room as the rebels right now. Like it just looked like the exact same thing. And so that's what, like, I wouldn't say it looked fake, but I would say it looked lazy in a sense. So
that's probably a better word, is lazy. It was definitely a lazier attempt at the set.
Another thing with that moment when I saw that, I thought of Mandalorian because it made me laugh how I don't know if you remember this, but Mandalorian season 1, their budget was so low.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford stormtroopers.
Yeah. Yep.
And like in this episode alone, we have like 30, 40 stormtroopers in that one room. And it just kind of made me laugh thinking about the like,
well, didn't they hire a bunch of cosplayers to come out in like stormtrooper costumes and stuff?
They basically begged cosplayers for Mandalorian season 1. Can you bring your stormtrooper armor and be backdrops in our episode? And they were like, yeah,
which is crazy because it's Disney. Like, how the hell does Disney not have the money to, you know what I mean?
They had such little faith in Mandalorian, dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy, and it's so funny looking back on that because that's everything now.
And it is crazy too because it was Jon Favreau who did most of the directing, and he did Iron Man.
Yeah, Jon Favreau, well-known director.
Very well-known. And Dave Filoni was the producer and like showrunner for that. And he's like this, like if you want something accurate and nerdy in Star Wars to be produced, you hire Dave Filoni. Like he did all the Clone Wars episodes and everything. I think that was his like brainchild.
Yeah, he is the Clone Wars. Like the Clone Wars was only completed because he basically approached Disney and was like, look, I just want to do one more season. Like, can I just get that? And they were like, here's 9 episodes. It was like, done. 10 episodes. And, but yeah, no, Dave Filoni, that's what, like, I really want, just kind of going into the Star Wars-ness of it, I guess. But I really hope Dave Filoni takes Kathleen Kennedy's job at some point soon.
Yeah, he would definitely be better because, I mean,
he needs to be Kevin Feige. Like he needs to be Star Wars Feige.
Yeah. I mean, she's done a good job. I don't have any big gripes with the choices she made. Rather, we'll get into that when we talk about the sequels
trilogy.
But I don't have any big gripes with that. But I feel like definitely he would be a better fit because he lives and breathes Star Wars.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I guess we haven't talked about this at all, but like I think one of the things Feige does best is it's not. Because I saw someone complaining on YouTube earlier this week, and they were complaining because one of the writers admitted they hadn't seen Star Wars Episode 3, which is shocking that they didn't go to watch it after they were hired for this. But it's not shocking to me that they didn't see it beforehand. Like Hollywood hires people they trust to do the job well, not people that are fans. However, I think it helps having a fan in the production of these things.
Yeah, so you can guide them in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like that's what Feige is. Feige is a diehard Marvel fan, and he hires the right people in Hollywood.
Yeah. And he kind of molds it and how he wants it, but lets them do everything creatively. And
exactly. And we'll get more into that at another time.
Yeah.
Okay, something else which I don't have a problem with. I think it was well used for storytelling points, but this episode should be a public service announcement to all old people who don't delete their voicemails. Delete your voicemails. Because if you don't, someone hunting you is going to find one and it's going to come back to bite you in the ass.
Yep. That I had to rewind that probably about 3 or 4 times, and I had to put the subtitles on because I couldn't understand what was being said.
Yeah. Bale like sounds like he's speaking gibberish.
That's the end of episode 3, right? When he's talking, when he.
So that was just a voicemail that he left him in the, because he says, this is what I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's just he literally left Obi-Wan a voicemail, and he's like, yo, I know we said we wouldn't talk, but I thought I'd hear from you by now. If the worst happens, I will go to Tatooine to take care of Owen.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's what so Obi-Wan.
It was just cut up. That's why it sounded different. It was correct. It was the same message he listened to when he was listening to it earlier. It was just cut. Distorted. Yes. Gotcha.
And that's what Reva finds at the end of the episode. And again, I want to get there. I want to get there, but that was very interesting. And we'll make our way there still.
That confused me a little bit. We'll definitely want to dive into that, but that confused me with where that's going.
Yes.
I put down here.
I feel like we both just took a breath of air because we finally stopped gushing over Star Wars for 3 seconds.
I was like Obi-Wan. Vader is just hell bent on getting Obi-Wan and then just like mentally and physically torturing him. I feel like he doesn't want to kill him. He doesn't want to. He just wants to fuck with him. That's all he wants to do.
I think Vader wants to capture Obi-Wan, lock him up in his little bleep dungeon, and he's just gonna torture him every day. He's gonna walk in and be like, "How you doing in there, pops?" Ah! All right, see you tomorrow.
Right, see you later. Force choke, gotcha. All right, see you later.
almost got you.
But like watching this episode, I was like, he just wants to play cat and mouse with them, like
forever.
I'll bait you in a little bit, and then I'll let you go. Bait you in a little bit, let you go.
But at the same time, at the end of the episode, you can see he's getting, and I think they did this well. He's getting frustrated, and he's like, he still wants to torture Obi-Wan, but he's getting over it.
Yeah. He is beyond pissed right now.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Again, the finale is going to be a very interesting episode. I don't know what. I don't know what we want to talk about next. I could go right into Darth Vader, to be honest.
One quick thing I wanted to point out, when Obi-Wan sees all that wall with all the Jedi names and everything on it.
Yep.
I bet you $10 there's references to Cal Kestis in there. Possibly. I mean, I don't know the whole background about that, but maybe Starkiller.
I can't believe you.
Because wouldn't he be like?
So I kind of teased. That's what I was trying to tease earlier. But since you brought him up, I'm gonna real quick talk Starkiller, because so as of right now, Force Unleashed is not canon. It's
okay.
That's Legends. And so again, as of right now, that's not canon. I sent a joke tweet out. I think after I watched parts 1 and 2 of Obi-Wan, I was like, this series is going to end with the coolest finale credit scene, and it's going to be like Darth Vader sitting on his throne, pissed off because he obviously lost to Obi-Wan, and someone's going to walk into the room and they're going to immediately kneel, and Darth Vader's going to be like, "You must do where the Inquisitors failed, ... my apprentice." And that's when you see Starkiller. And I was like, I set that out as a joke, but now I want to set the record straight, Brendan. I called that shit like day one.
Oh yeah,
because we had the Force Unleashed 2 reference in the last part, in part 4, with the Obi-Wan lightsaber in the dark.
Yep.
And then in this one, I don't know if you know this, when Darth Vader grabs the ship and pulls it down.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that what Starkiller does?
Starkiller was the initial reveal of Starkiller in Force Unleashed trailer was there's a man standing in front of a Star Destroyer and he grabs it with the Force and shoves it into the ground.
Damn.
And I'm watching Darth Vader do this. I'm like, this is the Force Unleashed.
Yeah,
this is the Force Unleashed. I'm like, forget Darth Vader playing cat and mouse with Obi-Wan. Star Wars is playing cat and mouse with me on whether or not Starkiller is going to show up. So I love that you brought that up. I hope so badly he gets brought into canon somehow.
That would be this would be the perfect opportunity to do it. Especially, I could see them. I mean, like you said, I know it's not canon, so they might not do it, but that'd be cool if they would do like a Starkiller show.
Yes, it would be very.
That
cool,
would be
Brendan.
awesome.
It would be amazing.
Awesome.
I want that so badly. He's one of my just all-time favorite.
Because then you could even go more in depth to like the relationship with Vader and his apprentice, and the relationship with Vader and the Emperor. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
because the whole thing is under wraps. Like the Emperor doesn't know about it. Well, he's supposed to not, but he's the Emperor, so he probably knows everything.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. But I love that game. I love that story. I would really want to replay it. It's so it's so cool. Filoni actually likes it too, and that's what excites me, because when he likes it, that's anything.
He might slip it in there. Yeah,
he actually was known. I forget what interview it was, but a while ago when he was working on Rebels, he basically said it in an interview that he wanted to bring Starkiller in Rebels, but he couldn't figure out how to do it properly, and that's why he didn't. So I love the idea that now that he's got Disney Plus money, he's still trying to figure out how to do it.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, I only played that game for I don't think I ever finished it, but I played it for a little bit, and I really liked the character. So I think it would be cool to explore, him more and the origins of how he got there and everything.
And like the idea of bringing him together, like you could make the antagonist Ahsoka. Like in like a total like you're making a villain movie kind of move. Like you make the hero the bad guy. That would his Anakin's two apprentices coming together to clash like that. Oh my god! And it's so funny that you said that, and I'm sitting here. I'm like, I've been thinking about this for 48 hours now, 24 hours now, whatever.
Do we want to just jump right into Vader?
Yes. So, oh my god, that Vader fight was, dude. He didn't even use his lightsaber.
Oh my god, yeah.
That okay. Actually, back up one more thing, because Reva. I also love that when they're describing like, okay, Reva is a youngling from Order 66 who survived and she went dark side, all that stuff. Like, I love that they specifically point out that she shouldn't know Vader is Anakin, but she does. No, she does. That's why Obi-Wan puts it together.
Yeah, that's because I put here, I was like, Obi-Wan definitely knew she was present for Order 66 because he was like, you wouldn't know who Anakin is. Like, you wouldn't know that Vader is Anakin. Like,
exactly. And it was so well done because it was one of the things that I, as a fan, especially of just Darth Vader in general, like one of the biggest Darth Vader lores is that he doesn't let people know he's Anakin Skywalker. Like, if people there's a whole, like, the Darth Vader comic, which is very good, which I know I've recommended before. Like, there's a panel basically where a stormtrooper ship, like I want to say like 10 stormtroopers are with him, and somehow the troopers find out he's Anakin and he kills all of them instantly. Like, it's just like, so like people don't know that. So when she did that in the show, I was like, okay, that's weird because I definitely don't think she should know, but whatever. Like, I'm willing to wait and watch the show play out. People. And what happens, but you get a perfect explanation that basically she let Obi-Wan know, but no one else knows that she knows.
The
show wasn't over.
Oh yeah. You gotta wait for it.
It really was. Like, we've been watching a 6-hour movie, and it's hard because this is a total different era of television where these TV shows really aren't TV shows.
No,
we don't have another word for that.
They're I mean, they're basically just 6 movies all put into one. So
exactly, and that's what, like, it was really cool to see that play out properly. Now, okay, now that we talked about that, fast forward, the fight again, just for Darth Vader lore, like, and we've talked about this. Darth Vader is a ultimate villain, and in this series, he's becoming the badass that the galaxy fears. The fact that he was not fighting her by fighting her by he not was just fighting her. Nope.
Yep.
Stop.
Fuck
block,
you. Nope.
Out of here. Get out.
Just stop.
It was amazing. And then when he finally just rips the lightsaber out, breaks it in half, and throws her one. She's like,
that was my favorite part because I was like, oh, he's gonna obliterate her, and then he basically just like did the whole blap stop smack blap force push, and then he had her dead to rights, and he just went, you know what, I'm not done. I'm not finished with you yet. Let me see what you got. And just
I took it as a combination of, I'm not finished with you, and you know what? You want a chance? Here, get one of these back.
Yeah.
This is your chance.
Let's see if you can get a couple good hits in there.
And she does not. She gets absolutely nowhere, and then he steals it back. And we get, is that like the coolest Vader pose of all time with him like double lightsabering like that? Like,
that was awesome.
Oh, I wish we got more of a like panorama. Is that right? Panoramic. Thank you. Panorama. Is that a thing? But I wish we had more of a panoramic view of that shot. Because, oh my god, that was so sick. Cool.
I was expecting him to almost do the Count Dooku like cross blades around her neck for a second, because when he had both of them, I was like, oh shit, are we about to see a repeat of Count Dooku?
And so Reva's totally not dead. She crawls up, gets her saber.
Did she also get stabbed there during Order 66?
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, because and he even said something like I did said something. I forget what he said to her before he just like dropped off and walked away. But
he says something along the lines of like, "Did you think I wouldn't recognize Youngling or something?"
Yeah,
like
that's
that. He specifically says Youngling. I know, and to me that says he knew the whole time who she was. The entire time, and I thought that was really cool because again, it was like, oh, she was going through all this effort, this huge plan to outsmart Vader and get close to him and blah blah blah. No, doesn't matter. You suck. It's Darth Vader.
He will beat you in any way you try.
Oh yeah. And then, so I mean that fight again, it wasn't versus the Inquisitors. It was cooler because it was versus Vader.
Yeah.
And then it ends with what you've been asking for the series, which is where's the Grand Inquisitor?
Yep.
And him and Vader were just like, yeah, we've been here the whole time.
The thing I wrote down that I thought was so funny was I was surprised Vader let him taunt her for that long. Like I feel like he would have just shut him up really quick because he hates them. Like he doesn't like being around them. Like
no, he doesn't like any of them.
Yeah, and especially don't they have a really bad history in the comics, like him and the Grand Inquisitor?
So him and the Grand, I don't remember too much about him and the Grand Inquisitor, but I know he was a Jedi that I believe he helped safeguard the Jedi Temple.
Okay,
and so I think Vader / Anakin doesn't like him.
Yeah,
but again, I'm assuming he doesn't know he's Anakin, so it's like a one-sided, like I don't care about you at all.
Yeah.
I can totally see it like the kind of the best the friendships back when you're in school where it was like, oh, we're best friends, and the other person's like, I tolerate you.
Yeah. No, but like the whole time I was watching that, I was waiting for Vader to just like start choking him while he was like taunting her, like that's enough out of you, rat. Like
yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe once the Grand Inquisitor steps in and starts talking, I don't think Vader says another word.
Yeah, no, he's just standing
and so
there.
I think that was their way of showing that, like, he didn't obviously hurt the Grand Inquisitor, but he was basically like, you can speak until you're done and we're leaving. Like that's like, he wasn't going to jump in on the taunting. It was beneath him.
Yeah. Yep.
But he definitely let Reva live. Like, I think that's very interesting.
That is a weird choice.
He specifically, like, she's clearly not dead in any way. Like, I guess you could say she's dying, but I mean, Anakin of all people knows you don't let someone die. Or leave someone to die.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I think it's interesting. That might just be the idea that even killing her was beneath him. Like, she was just, I mean, she came from the gutter and into the gutter she goes, or whatever.
She's gonna leave. Yeah.
Now
we'll leave you where we found you, in the gutter.
That was good. My thing is, I thought for sure like Vader was gonna find the transmitter with the Bail Organa thing.
That would have made more sense because then he'd. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for the original trilogy because doesn't he know Luke isn't?
He doesn't know Luke is his son until after he meets him, essentially, and then so it wouldn't have made sense. But for the plot of this story, I was like, basically, I'm sitting here, and again, it was great for this episode, but for the next episode, I'm like, why does Reva having that matter? Like, is she so hell bent now that is she like, and this might be it. She might just transition all of her Anakin anger to
Obi-Wan. Yeah. So, I didn't even think about that she just wants to mess with him now and go after Luke.
The thing about it is that if that's true, my prediction for the last episode is that we're going to have our fight versus Vader followed by a fight with Reva.
Yeah.
And that would just be not good.
Or it's opposite. Like, we have the fight with Reva and then Vader shows up and I guess that wouldn't make sense because
so that's the thing, right? Like, Vader can't know Obi-Wan or Luke is on Tatooine.
Yeah.
And as the episode ends, they're not jumping the hyperspace. They're stuck and the Empire's right behind them.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to essentially start with the Vader fight. It's going to be an awesome fight. And I'm sure the Reva fight's going to be awesome too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's no way that can live up to the final Vader fight.
Yeah. No. But yeah, I can definitely see that happening. Like, because they're basically right behind them. Because then he came up at the end and was like, yeah, our hyperdrive's busted. We're sitting ducks, basically.
Yeah, and again, I thought Roken was, I don't, the actor. I thought the guy who plays Roken, Ice Cube's son, I thought he did a good job of being like, he was trying to play it cool, so no one else freaked out, and he sat there next to Ben, and he's like, hyperdrive's gone.
We're gonna die.
like it was. I thought again, really well done, and I sit here now panicking for next week.
Oh yeah.
Next week's episode has to be like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're like, definitely going to extend it. Yeah.
It has to be. And okay, is there anything else about this episode we want to talk about? I could talk about Anakin forever. So
let me see. There was one or two just like quick funny things I wanted to bring up.
R.I.P. Tala.
R.I.P. Tala.
Great death.
Oh yeah. That's what I wanted to bring up. I was like, these stormtroopers still suck at shooting. I was like, they're literally right in front of just a group of people. Everyone missed.
Of people.
And then they missed everyone except for Tala and the robot. Like,
did you ever see the Family Guy bit? I forget what the setup is, but it's like, oh, they have worse aim than a stormtrooper, and it's stormtroopers chasing people, and the guns are like pointed behind them, and they're like, why can't we hit them?
It's literally this episode.
That was funny. Yeah.
And I was like, that robot was awesome. Like the robot scene when he was like mowing down stormtroopers and then it kind of like became a shield for Tala.
Yeah, that was so like emotional. Like it's this robot we've met once, and I was like, no, I like him. Like,
but also I was like, it's a robot. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Actually, it's the only robots I could actually care about is R2D2 and C3PO. Yeah, and I really just R2D2.
That's like a complete sidetrack here, but that's like when my biggest gripe with Avengers Infinity War was when they're meeting in the beginning of the movie to like figure out how they're gonna protect Vision. And Vision's basically like, oh, I'm gonna give myself up. I'm not gonna let the humanity die just for me. And Captain America's like, we don't trade lives, Vision. I was like, he's a goddamn robot. You can build another one. Like
he's not only is he a robot, but we're talking about humanity versus one robot.
Yeah, I remember that and seeing that in theaters. I was like, he's a robot. Rip it out of his head. Build a new one. Like kill Thanos, then build a new one. Like,
yeah, kill Thanos and then give it back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
press pause on the robot.
Exactly.
What I miss?
Oh, that was annoying. Sorry, but that's just my big gripe with that whole time. One more thing I was put down. I was like, the Jedi are pretty ballsy to be practicing with their lightsabers with no protection, like no guarding or anything. Like, I mean, I know they're masters at this, but still, like Anakin's a Padawan. Like sparring. There we go.
Sparring. That's the word.
The right word. That's what we needed.
Yes, that's the word.
When they're sparring. There we go. But yeah, like the whole time I was like, one of them could easily just cut off each other's hand by accident. Like,
especially there was 3 moments specifically out of the like 5 that I basically had that exact thought, and it was when Anakin has the upper hand, the one scene, and he does the angry Luke from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
When he does the hammer down basically, and he keeps hammering at Obi-Wan's lightsaber. I was like, he drops that.
You're done. Yeah.
He's done. Right. There was that scene. There was one point where they're just kind of twirling their lightsabers around, and they both miss like one over the other. Oh, sorry, audio. They both miss one over the other, and they stop and look at each other. And I'm like, yeah, you both are like, we almost hit each other. And then the last being when Obi-Wan kind of drops to his knee and Anakin hits the lightsaber out of his hand. Like, again, like that thing could have flew up and hit him in the face. Like,
and when Obi-Wan force pulled Anakin's lightsaber, I was like, what if you grabbed it by the saber by accident?
The blade.
Yeah. I mean, I know they have like complete control over their powers and they're like masters with this thing, but still, like,
right.
people make mistakes.
I agree. It gave me like, I use the term lightly, like I'm not. It gave me like anxiety in the moment, like you know, like you get like secondhand and oh my gosh, I can't talk today. You get like secondhand anxiety when you're watching something like, like I have their anxiety right now. Like I felt like anxious like every time.
They're gonna cut. Oh, you're gonna cut someone. Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I agree 100%. It was borderline scary.
Yeah. And then just to talk about it a little more, the Vader ship scene. Holy shit.
That was so awesome. It was so epic. It was the most epic thing Vader could have done.
I knew that was coming because I got it a little spoiled for me. I went on YouTube like 2 hours before I watched the episode. And it said, holy crap, this clip from episode 5. And it was just a still of Vader and the ship in front of him. And I was like, I kind of put two together. I'm like, well, obviously Vader's probably going to be force pulling the ship down, but I didn't expect it to be like he just walked in and was like, nope, you ain't going anywhere. Like,
that's what
froze them still.
He like one arm grabs it, man. And I'm like, I would love to see that still side by side with the Force Unleashed shot, because I'm telling you, like the other reference, I was like, oh, that could be an homage to Force Unleashed.
Definitely,
too.
Yeah.
But
these
like this one
homages.
was, this definitely was like. Oh man. And I know the argument can be made, oh well, Rey does that in episode 9, but when she does that, it's like not a speeder, but it's like this little ship that she like tries to grab, can't really grab. Kylo Ren freaks out. Like, it's this whole like Vader single-handedly pulls that sucker out of the sky, and you're like, oh shit.
And grounds it. Like doesn't even just keep it, like Rey just kind of kept it floating. He takes it and goes, you're not going anywhere. Grounds it.
And then, and even further, him ripping the walls apart.
God, that was terrifying.
I'm like, there's gonna be 40 people just staring Vader in the eye right now.
Yeah, like, oh, we're gonna.
They got me.
Yeah. So that was the only thing that confused me. Was there another ship inside that ship that they flew out of?
No, so it was behind it, like physically, like so Vader would have saw like that looked like a park ship that no one was in. When in reality, the ship that left first was a decoy.
Okay.
And the parked ship had the people in it.
Gotcha. Because that's what I thought at first. That's what I at first thought. And then I rewatched it and I think I was just so tired. I didn't see the other ship. But yeah, I was like, what the hell happened?
I also rewatched to like try and catch the other ship, and I was too focused on Vader pulling. It was too cool. I couldn't not see it again.
Just ripping it off.
So good. And then you see the other one just take off, and it's like, he's so focused on that first, like it was the perfect decoy. And oh my God, it was so cool. I loved it. And also, by the way, in case anyone was like, oh, well, who was piloting the first ship? They got droids, man.
They have I was just saying, they have autopilot. This is Star Wars.
This is nothing. This is absolutely nothing to worry about.
They can travel through light speed. I'm pretty sure they can travel. They can, they have things that automated.
They can remote control a ship to take off, not even go anywhere.
Yeah. Like just this whole episode was start to finish was amazing. Like,
it was perfect. And we even like Obi-Wan. Really, we talked about it earlier, but like we really got General Kenobi, and not even just the call to action from the people, but even when he's trying to get there to save Tala, or like he's in the hallway just trying to keep the stormtroopers at bay, like him defending the blasters, and it just felt so much like General Kenobi, and I loved seeing that. And I just really think we're gonna get as close to 100% Kenobi as we can for this finale.
Oh yeah, he's definitely re-summoning his power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's been a hermit for so long that now he's like, oh, okay, we're getting into the thick of it. I got to start bringing my A game.
Now, Brendan, dude, where the fuck is Qui-Gon Jinn?
I was gonna bring that up in the beginning. I know we've been saying this for the past 5 parts. But I have a feeling he might come in the next one, and they'll find maybe they're gonna maybe like either he'll be like meditating before Vader comes on their ship, and Qui-Gon shows up and is like kind of not reinforces, but like lets him know like, hey, this is Vader isn't your moment. Yeah, but he like reassures him like Vader isn't your fault. Like don't keep all that blame on yourself for Anakin turning into Vader. When you think about it, there's really nothing he could have done. I think if he even tried to get him, which he did, tried to set him straight, he still would have, because he just wanted to save Padme. That was his whole reason for
real burning. Quick. Shout out to Dave Filoni again. In the Mandalorian season 1, like behind the scenes thing Disney Plus did, it's like the first or second episode, and they're doing a round table, just kind of discussion. And I don't know what brings it up, but Filoni talks about how Anakin, he really, George Lucas had a vision, and like, he might not have been the greatest with dialogue and writing, but he really did have this huge vision. And the idea was that basically, the song or the theme that plays during Qui-Gon Jinn versus Darth Maul, the theme is called Duel of the Fates, the greatest. And you're like, let's fucking go. Let's go, baby. But no, that song is called Duel of the Fates. And the reason it's called Duel of Fates, this is unofficial, but this is like it's a thinker, right? And the thing is, it's the fate that is the fate of Anakin. And it's that if Qui-Gon wins this fight, Anakin's going to be Padawan. If Qui-Gon wins this fight, Qui-Gon's going to be Anakin's master, right? Yeah. And then Anakin gets the father figure, and that's what he needs, is a father figure. Yeah. But because he loses, Anakin gets Obi-Wan, and he gets a brother, but he doesn't need a brother. He needs a father. Yeah, and so he was the guidance from that moment. And I just love the idea that there's nothing Obi-Wan could have done differently. Like, he wasn't a bad master. No, it's just that's not what Anakin needed. And Dave Filoni says it much better than I did. But basically, if you're a Star Wars fan,
I've never heard that theory before. That's awesome.
It's such a like, wow, like the fact that the idea that could be what was actually at stake for Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon Jinn, because it was doomed. It was doomed from the start.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, there's nothing he could have done. I mean, no, unless Qui-Gon survived, but
he didn't, because he got stabbed and was the only one in Star Wars history to stabbed and died.
Yeah.
Dude, I agree. I still think he shows up. It just feels
even if it's not like him himself, if it's just his voice, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already heard his voice, but still, like him, that was just like a flashback voice. Like,
it would be so weird if they focused again. It's like
they brought it up. Like, it's not like we were speculating that like he's talking to Qui-Gon. He specifically said, Master Qui-Gon, are you there? Like,
that's the funniest part, is that I 100% agree. Like, as a crazy fan who's going to go into this with all theories possible, like, I'll sit here tell you Qui-Gon Jinn, Ahsoka Tano, Cal Kestis, Starkiller, like, these are all the things that could happen. But like, they're the ones that were like, hey, remember in the prequels when Yoda's like, you could talk to your master? And then remember in the first part where he's like, Master Qui-Gon, where are you? It's like, why bring all that up? Why would you bring all this up? Yeah, not going to show up.
One thing I wanted to bring up, when I was watching, when Obi-Wan and Anakin finished their fight, and Obi-Wan's basically like, this is why you're not, you're still a Padawan. This is why you're not a master. When he says that, I could have sworn, I guess my volume just wasn't up all the way. I could have sworn the way Obi-Wan said, I forget what he said, like,
a Padawan you will be.
Yes. I thought he was imitating Yoda for a second.
Yes.
I mean, like, I know that I know he was like, but I thought like voice wise, I thought he was like, a Padawan you will still be. Like, I thought he was like doing the voice, and then I was like, did he just do a Yoda voice? Like, is he mocking Yoda? Like,
I think he was just like,
yeah, I mean, he didn't do his like voice, but he was like saying it like Yoda. Like,
yes. And like, I don't know, he was smiling afterwards, so I could see that being like, it was supposed to be a joke between them, like I
don't want you to still be
like he's just busting his balls, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he's like, Master Yoda, I know Master Yoda, we both know Master Yoda. Yeah. But the reason, like, so I thought that was funny and I liked it, but the other thing I liked about it is, again, full circle, folks, but the idea that Darth Vader in episode 4 goes, last time we met, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Mm-hmm.
That ending this part, it was like, I don't know if we're going to say anything further to it, but it felt like their way of being like, Vader, even though he's Darth Vader, he still feels like a Padawan.
Yeah, he's still technically Obi-Wan's apprentice. Like,
and he is stewing, feeling like that if he loses. And we know he's going to lose in this finale. So I think that's going to be the point of the series, is Anakin feels like a learner at the end of the day.
Yeah. He still feels like a kid. You know what I mean? Like, he still feels like a Padawan.
I think the point is, until Vader kills Obi-Wan, literally in A New Hope, he will not feel like the master until that act is done.
Yep. And then he's got like 5 more years, and then he's like, fuck this shit, I'm done.
And electrocute me, kill the Emperor, take the helmet off.
And you get to create another Vader.
Oh man, yeah. Finale, Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Vader fight. I think you have to get that Obi-Wan Reva fight. Like I said, I
definitely feel like Vader fight's gonna be on a ship, like on their ship.
It's gonna be in space above the planet they just left.
And then the Reva fight more than likely on Tatooine. Yes, because I have a feeling they're gonna escape. They're gonna escape Vader, and like they're gonna. It's either gonna be like Leia helps them fix the hyper jet or something. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Like someone's like, you know, messing with the hyper jet, and they finally get that working, and then boom. But
here's the $1 million question: does Leia meet Luke?
I don't think so. I don't know though. Maybe like a hi, hey.
I could see like her tagging along with him to go to Tatooine. Leia, stay in the ship. You know, he goes, he fights Reva, kills Reva.
Yeah.
And then I could see Leia wandering off, be like, hi, I'm Leia. He's like, I'm Luke.
Hey.
Like, and then they wouldn't remember.
Kiss you in about 10 years.
And that's what you know what, I was going to save this for now, but I'd like the audience to sit down with me, you know, take a seat next to Zach.
Everybody say crisscross applesauce.
Crisscross applesauce. The other way that I guess you can't say anymore.
Okay.
But I'd like to sit down here. Adult. I'm 29 years old. Brendan, do you remember a single thing from when you were 10?
Not a lot. No. I mean, some things, but not a lot.
No. So you might remember, I don't know, a big scary lady kidnapping you. You might remember a big grizzly man who could be your grandfather and like saving you. You might remember seeing a little blonde kid, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Basically, it's very possible these things can happen, and then Leia just doesn't remember them because she's fucking 10, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I hate the argument that it can't be described as canon because of how Leia talks about Obi-Wan in the transmission. Because I just, like the only I had a counter argument to myself ready, which is, well, Reva remembers Order 66. Yeah, you'd probably remember every person you know dying.
Yeah, that's a traumatic event. And I'm sure she would probably remember the kidnapping and all that, because that's, you know, traumatic events. But like she only knew Obi-Wan as Ben. And yes, Reva did say, oh, you know, like Obi-Wan's dead, and she was kind of like, oh God. But that she could just be like, maybe that's what adults call them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like maybe that's just
you know how kids call people Mr. So-and-so, and then you all of a sudden hear their first name and you're like, what?
Exactly.
They're a human with a first name?
So maybe, I don't know. You never know.
That's my point. I'd like to bring to Zach's little dinner table.
She's a child.
She is a small child. And by the time she is adult, this could easily be something she has forgotten. Like meeting Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
In a one-on-one. Like,
do you know how many?
Remember every kid I met?
I was gonna say, do you remember how many? Do you remember every single kid in your grade school class, or every kid that you met, you know, at the park or something? You know what I mean? Like
exactly. And I just think that's, at the end of the day, might need to take a step back if you're that worried about Star Wars a little bit.
No, yeah. Let's take a break from all the continuity errors and everything, like all the the story errors. Let's just have fun with the show.
And dude, it's just been like, this is that's what, like, I if they do a Reva followed by Vader, that just feels out of order. Yeah. But it's still going to be so fun of a finale, like to get a back-to-back lightsaber duel like that.
Do you think we'll even get a glimpse of the Emperor at all in the next episode? Like Vader reporting to him, like even if it's just on the hologram thing, like
I don't know. Okay, all right. The big cameo, I think, is going to be Qui-Gon Jinn, right? I think if that happens, we don't get the Emperor because I think that overshadows the Emperor.
Yeah.
Here's the counterpoint. Again, I bring both sides to the table. I could see the Emperor being in a credit scene.
Yeah. Like talking with Vader,
still an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Just like you got to let the Qui-Gon sit in basically and settle. And then it's like, oh, you think it's over? Here's a little Emperor Palpatine talking to Vader. Although I still really, really want Starkiller to show up.
That would be awesome.
That's my hope. My actual, my last question for you today. We can talk about whatever, but I had one more question, and that was, I do think there's going to be some sort of credit scene.
Yeah. I think there's going to be something. Again, I don't know what it is. Whether it's something with the Emperor, whether it's bringing in Starkiller, whether it could be something with like Cal Kestis. You never like.
I think my hope is that it's Starkiller of some kind.
Yeah.
My actual prediction is I think it's somehow Ahsoka because she's next year.
Yeah, could be.
I think we get some kind of an Ahsoka cameo that is supposed to lead into the series next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my prediction.
That would be awesome. I'm excited for the Ahsoka show because number one, I'm starting to get more introduced to her through Clone Wars.
Yep. Is she bearable yet? I forget what season you're on.
I took a break from it because I've been watching The Boys and I've been watching. Been watching Resident Evil speed runs, but she's pretty fine, and I'm in season 3 right now. She's fine.
She gets a lot better as she gets older, and the show gets like as the show picks itself up,
as it becomes more, because right now it's starting to transition from a kid show into like kids and adults can watch it.
Yep. It was that transition of like, are we doing this? Like, everyone, we know who's watching this right now.
Kids aren't watching this religiously. Like, but yeah, no, part 5 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. A-okay in my books. Amazing.
Nick and I talked on the phone right before this, and we made that joke. And it was such a long joke too. It's like, it's so confusing. Someone comes up to you and they're like, have you seen episode 4 yet? And you're like, episode 4? A New Hope? Like, no, not that one. The other one, from the newest one. It's like
episode
the newest one, episode 9, Rise of the Skywalker. Like, what are we talking about here?
And I always get the names confused. There's so many: Return of the Jedi, The Last Skywalker, the Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi, The Empire Strikes Back. So many. It gets confused because I'll always be like, oh yeah, The Last Skywalker. Yeah, that one.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time for sure. And I'm sure when Taika Waititi finally gets his Star Wars movie out, like it's going to be the biggest tongue twister of them all.
That's what I wanted to bring up too, because I saw that today. I'm so excited for that because it's going to have, I guess it had, but it's going to have nothing to do with anything Star Wars we've seen.
No.
And what I hope they do too in the future is an Old Republic show. I'd love to see Old Republic stuff. We've only gotten video games and like the shitty like the not the shitty, but like the not first person game. You know what I mean? Like it's like I forget.
The old video, the Old Republic video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a beloved video game by a cult following, and then like no one else likes it.
Yeah. I tried playing it and I was like, what is this bullshit?
It's so boring. It's like, what am I playing right now? But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I also hope that was the rumors. I mean, after episode 9 came out, I believe the rumor was a new trilogy was going to be made about the Old Republic. And I think that was just put on hold for Disney Plus stuff.
Yeah.
And long story short, I agree with you. I really hope we get some Old Republic movies. They're doing the Disney Plus thing, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where like, I would love a new movie.
Yeah, I want some new stories. I want some new characters,
Yeah.
That don't have to do with the Skywalkers.
Yeah, agreed.
But, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for listening to Stars of Marvel. Part 5, I already forget, part 5 of Obi-Wan. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're listening to the audio, thanks for listening. YouTube channel is in the link below. Would love it. Trying to get to 30 subscribers. We're 2 away. So if you're a person and there's another person, you guys would do it. Just subscribe.
Just 2 people. That's all we need.
2 people. So get us to 30. And anyway, thanks for listening. And I appreciate it.
Yeah. Catch you on the next one.